both of these teams, again, are scrapping for that title of best team in North America. It's a great precedent to set and one that they want for themselves.
Take a look at this. We've got our pick and ban phase, our draft phase coming up here. TTV drafting out Zoroark. I mean, I don't mean to say this, but that would have been nice a minute ago.
Yeah, like really a lessons learned moment maybe for TTV as they ban out Zoroark. And again, something we would have loved to have seen perhaps in the previous matchup.
Nice big lock in there, taking this Urshifu first pick, taking away a lot of big weapons from Amaterasu right here, but they still have a ton that they are going to be able to throw at TTV as they grab that premier defender, Slowbro. And finally, I wonder if we're going double. We are going double defender, grabbing the Lapras. Two big pickups for Amaterasu.
Great pickups for ASU, getting the two premier defenders, as you mentioned. Zugrug, though, I mean, we saw the Snorlax hover. They are incredibly comfortable on that Pokemon. A9, great. Ender, match made in heaven with that Blissey.
There we go. Blissy's back again. Blissy's back. Tell a friend. But take a look at Hoopa right here. So who is piloting the Hoopa on the side of TTV? It might be Otter, perhaps?
No, so Hoopa's going to go to Ender, Blissy's going to go to Zugrug, and it's going to be like an off-tank type situation, kind of like what we saw last year.
Oh, beautiful stuff from TTV as we have Sableye, the little gentleman, getting locked in from Amaterasu. They have been playing a ton of this Pokemon, and it has been putting them in so many power positions heading late into the game.
The one downfall of Sableye is if you aren't in the lead when you hit the final stages of the game, it's not as impactful in those team fights because it's more of, you know, a havoc creator, not like a damage deliverer, if you will.
Yeah, and not a damage negator either. You know, Blissey with the Bliss assistance right there, able to save a Pokemon on the side of TTV. For instance, this Solar Beam Venusaur, right? Sableye, it has some tools, but it's used in a different way for sure. And of course, now we have Yeet Fan on the Decidueye. They are the Decidueye.
Yeah, we want to talk about greatest hits. That is definitely one for Yeet Fan. I love watching their Decidueye play. These losers finals are 10 seconds away from kicking off, which means you know what we got to do. We got to kick it over ourselves. The Zoinks and Chef to bring us through this thing.
It almost seemed like TTV was drafting really well this game, but against Luminosity.
Yeah.
That's the way that I'm seeing it, but I love this kind of double support pick. First time that we're seeing it this weekend. I really hope it works out. I mean, I think that the Blissey kind of as an almost off-tank situation is great, but here we go. We didn't get a chance to see this the last time that we saw Amaterasu, but JL going again for this invade, and not going to be able to get that last hit, but of course not going to be determined.
Yeah, no blue buff there, but I mean, what a good Pokemon to try to chase down and invade. Celestial on this Kubfu is going to be a huge problem if they can't get their levels, and that is going to be JL's #1 task. However, Celestial decides that maybe they can get their levels from actually knocking out JL, but that going away from the speed flux zone there, JL actually is able to create some space as Kubfu slows down when not running down that highlighted blue path. So great little decision making from JL. They do go down to Zugger, but that is a lot of time off the clock for Celestial to only be at 4.
Yeah, look at definitely not going to be getting 5 and back to either of these pads in time for the 850 Altarian Swablu, as they're going to be spawning right now. So we're going to see 3v2 on top and 2v2 on bottom. Although actually, wait, and there's going to be 3 or 4 on top for the side of Amaterasu, trying to run this down. And hey, you know what? I was wrong. Celestial did get that level 5, got there in time, but maybe not quite, as they're going to go down. We're going to be trading a 1-for-1 up here. Oh, maybe a little bit more, actually. That's going to be huge, going down still as a Rowlet.
Ender Hoopa is a powerful thing. Great play there. The call out onto JL as they were escaping, and then of course that final knockout as well. I mean, currently this is going very, very solid for Team TTV. However, Otter may be biting off a little more than they can chew as they head towards the enemy central area. An eject button is not going to get them away from the Icy Wind, and JL chases them down. Otter eventually gets knocked out, and that means Yeet Fan is going to evolve into that Dartrix.
All right, that's great, because honestly, it was kind of stuck at that little EXP pre-evolution situation where you just need that one final big last hit or whatever, and it jumped from 4 all the way to 6 there. So that's going to be a huge jump in levels. That's going to really start evening things up, just from even that one play. I'm surprised that we did end up seeing the Espeon quite so far out, but here we go, everybody jumping on Nudo. Nudo's going to just barely get out of there, take a little bit of a nap on the gold zone.
Otter actually playing this stored power Espeon this time around. Probably a pretty solid answer to the Sableye. That sure hit move, a lot easier to lock down the little gentleman as he tries to escape with your invisibility and, of course, all those other crazy tactics.
Right, the slow on that move as well is going to be really great. But here we go, just everybody waiting in turn for these final hits. Let's see who gets it. Looks like that may have been. Of course, the fact that there's no side shock there means it's a little bit harder, but it still might have gone all the way to Otter. And everybody's getting the XP. 4 stacking bottom as we're waiting for this basement Reggie to spawn a great Spirit Shackle into Skull. Zugro was like, whoa, relax, hold on a second. We do have the opportunity to kind of rotate anywhere, as of course we do have Ender on that Hoopa, so the Hyperspace Highway is going to be available, but it looks like nobody on the side of TTV is really prioritizing either of these objectives. Oh, almost stole it with the Egg Bomb. No, wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, we've seen this before. A bit of the remix with Zugro on that Pokemon, but also kind of a new look for Amaterasu. I know Yeet is this iconic pick of Decidueye, but, you know, normally when we see Decidueye and Amaterasu, they're not at that 7-minute fight. They are instead in that top path just going for stacks on their Decidueye, but instead, that has now become Roland's job in this composition. They are going to be waiting as long as they can until they have the full stacks on Lapras for wicked damage as they try to charge into the enemy and get that Parasong, get the enemy low enough for Spirit Shackle to clean up. Nudo trying to 1v3, but they are able to amnesia away a lot of this damage. The TTV does close the gap, but now the rest of Amaterasu's here for the fight.
Ooh, yeah, that Unite was used by Otter. That would have been really nice right now, but it's no longer available. The Spirit Shackle connects in a great way. Has to get out of there. Yeah, you got to get way out of there when Spirit Shackle's on board. Yeet has pretty much like a 90% hit rate on those as well. And we're going to see Roland try to come in and contest a little bit. Someone's backing up, but it's going to be really hard to steal this last hit on the Regieleki with Tweet against it.
Yeah, a little bit close there with the Solar Beam, and now Lutano has finally evolved. Verdant Anger available as Ender finds the KO onto Roland, but Celestial goes down thanks to a well-placed Spirit Shackle from Yeet. Ender hiding in that tall grass, trying to avoid any damage they can. Lutano engages with the Verdant Anger. Solar Beam trying to follow up. Ender trades, and Trainer also goes down. Yeet far out is going to use the knock-knock, but Lutano's going to find one score. They can't get two. Yeet trades.
That would have been so many free points right there. They were literally just sitting on the ground next to the goal, but ow, going down as well. It's going to be Espeon just, I mean, that's been a couple times now. Espeon's going down in a few unfortunate situations where they're just outnumbered. But Nudo trying to get this 32, and looks like it's going to happen too. Yeah, there's going to be a portal, so you maybe need to run away, but that is going to happen, and as a slow bro, you're probably going to do it.
This is one of the best things that you have with the double defender composition like Amaterasu. You can dedicate just one of them to kind of be the front line for your team, and either Nudo or Roland on either side of the map can actually just focus on scoring and, of course, building up their held items for the special attack or even just the attack weight of another character.
And we do see the Hoopa down here, but way too, late. Well, I was going to say there's a chance. Okay, yeah. Could have maybe used that Unite right here to try and bring everybody down and get that, but TTV has just really not cared about objectives this game. They're just trying to get their own farm.
Well, they're going against a composition like Amaterasu. They're not too worried about Amaterasu scaling either, but yeah, of course, Lutano wants as much as they could possibly get on that Venusaur. Roland is level 10, has pretty much made this top half their home for the entirety of this game. I don't know if we've seen a single rotation from this Lapras quite yet, but surely they are just buying their time. Be warned, this Pokemon is a huge factor in team fights.
Oh yeah, I mean, we'll probably see a rotation within the next few minutes. Hopefully, ideally, at least to somewhere else without the top. But we are going to see this Regieleki spawn, and finally we're going to see at least 3 members of TTV. Probably going to be more with that Hyperspace Highway. Going to be up here for this Regieleki. But no, yeah, maybe actually not. It looks like we're still going to keep Koopa down below. Great beam there, and that is a huge hunt down at Celestial. Just at least going to scare away Roland.
It doesn't matter what you do. Once you have been targeted by that Ebon Fist, Urshifu will chase you down to the ends of the earth. Celestial following that Glaceon. Spirit Shackle not able to steal the Regieleki, and now TTV has a chance to catch up on score lead, but with both Zugro and Celestial going back to base, except Regieleki doing some work there. Zugro going to be able to stay up. Now Lutano, we've seen this before. Another Unite move into the Solar Beam. Roland brought down to such low HP, but Yeet doing a repeat of the same strategy. It's deja vu here in Thea Sky Ruins as they defend their first tier goal zone with a well-placed knock-knock Unite move.
That was a lot of resources spent. There's now only going to be about 45 seconds left, 40 seconds left even, as we see Lutano get back up. So we're going to have to see that Unite that was just used farmed back pretty quickly if possible. And so that was just a lot to spend to not get anything in that situation. JL as well, going to get that first 40 in, allowing for potentially a gigantic overdunk later in the game, but a great beam!
A great solar beam. It's a 10-second respawn timer for JL. They're going to be back in a moment's notice, and this Registeel probably not going to get knocked out from either side, both Zugrug and Nudo, not quite having the damage numbers for a secure. So instead, it's all about positioning. Inder able to break this top-tier goal zone, cut off a little bit of the vision of Amaterasu, and of course, open up for a big push from TTV later on. Look at Nudo, though, already earning some space, but Zugrug has full vision. The only Pokemon I don't think TTV knows where they are is Trainer's Glaceon.
Can I note oh wait, hold on, I'll know that later, as we're gonna just initiate off the bat. We're gonna see Zugrug go down. Blissey no longer a part of this fight. Inder caught out in the middle of everybody as well, popping that Unite at a very last minute, but not gonna get too much mileage out of all the extra moves that you get. The slow beam coming out, maybe, oh no, the slow beam already came out, as we're gonna see, nice! Oh, there it is on the Urshifu, and the eject button away from the solar beam to stay up. Amazing play!
We are basically down to a 2v2. It's Otter and Lutano, and now Zugrug joining in. JL is back in the fight, though. A Unite move with the Blaze Assistance is gonna counter that one. That's a cleanse. JL gonna have to try to escape to the enemy side. One Spirit Shackle is not gonna do a whole lot of damage to those tanky Pokemon, and Zugrug able to completely heal that one out. The knock-knocking, though, is gonna be too much damage. Otter eject buttons away, and the reset's good. All of a sudden, the Spirit Shackle finds purchase, and they're down. Lutano hits the beam. They get the Rayquaza. TTV now has a chance to come back in this match.
Oh, but look at this, 42 points in the pocket of JL, going for the counter score. They've already got over a 300-point lead with this. 350. How much can TTV score? We see a couple of members with that shield, still 3 down here on bottom. Celestial is going to go in, take out the Slowbro immediately. Roll, the only one left to defend, maybe, but that might be a little bit of overcommitment. The score goes in. 2 members with the shield.
What a moment there. They gambled there. If Lutano wasn't able to score, they didn't have a shield, but they knew they wanted to save their shields until the second tier push. Yifan's going to try to make quick work of those, though, as Celestial actually tries to take an aggressive approach with that wicked blow. Verdant Anchor for Lutano finds one. Yifan is down, and TTV is looking for more scores if they can find him. Trainer also gone. Otter lands a huge Psychic Solaire, and TTV are got 2 more KOs, but the reinforcements are here for Amaterasu. Unite move on to Lutano. Everyone else just trying to score, as Scald stops one, but Inder scores as well.
Oh, 4 seconds left. Can you get in any points? There's a few more. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. The Unite comes out, and this is all down to all the points scored at the end. Let's see the score.
Is Amaterasu's early game lead enough to hold on? And it is! Amaterasu takes game number 1.
There's a reason they have the most championship points, and that's because they're the best team in North America, but they got to get through TTV.
They sure do, and TTV looking to bounce back. Known to lose that first one, but then win 2 on the hop. TTV did it a couple times this weekend, and they're going to look to repeat that magic right now. Starting up, though, looks like ASU does not want Otter on this Mew, and Roland just throwing up a Greedent, because why not?
Yeah, just having a little fun with that Greedent. I don't think you could ban out Greedent, realistically. I think you'd be put in jail at this point.
Perhaps, Spraggles, perhaps.
I don't know the laws in every jurisdiction, but I would wager that you could at least get a fine for something like that, as they lock in Lapras as a first pick on the side of Amaterasu, which does lead TTV open to grab this Zoroark here. I was thinking, they don't ban it out. Maybe we're going to see them steal it away, and they do, and they still want that Blissey. It looks like a very powerful pick.
Yeah, on this TTV squad specifically, it flux very well between Zugrug, who we just saw last game, and Inder, who usually plays in the support role. So it keeps their options diverse, doesn't overcommit to anything, while simultaneously giving them a quality Pokemon.
And here we have Yifan locking in that Urshifu and Zoroark. I mean, just such incredible Pokemon. Most teams are trying to pick up one, if not both of these, as we've seen from a lot of the squads today. Trainer picking up the Glaceon right here. Zugrug locking in that Snorlax, and it looks like Otter is going to be playing the bird.
Yeah, again, that range is incredibly important, and if you can get the correct amount of spacing and keep the other team off of them, I mean, it can take over a game. It can absolutely take over a game. We saw Yeetfan do it at least for 8 minutes.
Here we go. We've got Roland locking in this Espeon and then Nudo locking in this Sableye. Obviously, they're going to move some of these around right here as Lutano, the final pick here for TTV. We're going to see what they want to bring into this match. Hovering Blastoise right now.
Hovering Blastoise indeed. I think I'm more surprised that we're not seeing a Hoopa in the mix here. That is an incredibly strong Pokemon. Lutano says, you know, give me the Kanto starter. I want the Blastoise.
I think I saw Otter say, let him cook. I think everyone on TTV was honestly deciding what to do there. I truly believe he said, let him cook.
Well, that's certainly what they said when they selected Goodra in this position. But pivoting to another defender that's going to most likely be in the hands of Lutano here as they have that green check mark on.
Here we go. Game number 2 coming up right now between Amaterasu and TTV. One more win for Amaterasu. They're heading back to the grand finals. They are going to face off against LG, the team that sent them down here. But they've got one more run against TTV to make that happen. Zoinks, Wonder Chef, take it away.
Now, what I am really surprised about, of course, is that the Urshifu was not EZB's game counter plan this time around. They didn't want to grab that one in their first couple of picks, instead giving that back to Yeetfan. So now Otter going to go over towards this Decidueye, trying to shred some of that defense with the Shadow Sneak and really capitalize with the Spirit Shackle.
Right, and of course, this kind of double combo of the Decidueye and the Zoroark can make it so unsafe for anybody in the back line here. But all right, we're going to see Ender running around, trying to create a little bit of chaos in here. Not the support that we expected to see kind of go into the enemy central area.
Great little micro play there by the side of Amaterasu to actually bring that Escavalier towards their side. So you know when its dash happens. So they actually made sure that baited away from the side of Ender, who of course is only a melee Pokemon, who needs to be within close range to knock out that wild Pokemon.
That's right, we're actually seeing a support versus support fight very far on the side of Amaterasu. That's how the fight's going to go as well. Hold on, Ender's staying alive for quite a bit right there. But that was a very far invade, so we are going to see a little bit more EXP for JL side.
Sometimes getting knocked out's a whole lot faster than running all the way back home. I will say that. Lutano having to Skull Bash away from that little engagement, but Celestial getting quite a bit of the experience on that Zoroark, which obviously we have seen go to work so far today and how powerful that can be. Nudo on a bit of a path change though, actually hanging out here in the bottom path, trying to get some stacks, the same strategy employs, but instead trying to create a bit of chaos in the bottom path. Sorry, no, not Roland, Nudo playing that Lapras this time around.
Oh, they're just trying to confuse us, but whoa, down goes the Zoroark, trying to get maybe a little bit of score in there, but Nudo also low as well, so Amaterasu, a little bit of a scary spot down on the bottom, but doing quite well up top, as Ender still stuck as this Chansey.
Yeah, wow, what a powerful early game for the side of Amaterasu, putting that goal zone down to about perfect HP, brought down to only 2, so whenever someone scores, it's going to be a pretty large overdunk, most likely. JL able to stun Celestial long enough to escape as that final dash actually hits Trainer for Celestial, and now they're caught out as Yeetfan finds that final hit. The rest of TTV is able to earn some experience within that middle area. Those Swablu's Alterias that joined the battle at 8 minutes are a great source, so good call, good rotation from them, but Celestial going down is concerning.
Yeah, and Celestial's gone down quite a few times so far, but here we go, we're seeing the Perish Song come out again, and then In's going to get the pick, and the Decidueye on the side of Otter is going down. They're going to be able to potentially control all of these Altaria and Swablu. There's a little bit of a challenge here now that we've got 4 stacking on the bottom for TTV, both waiting for one member to come down, and that Regieleki is going to be a little bit lonely up in the top lane as a lot of members are going to pre-position here for the basement Reggie.
And look for a big engage by Zugrug to really follow up on a Spirit Shackle from Otter. Zugrug trying to wait in the wings around the Regirock. I don't know if they knew where Nudo was, but Nudo actually charging the goal zone instead. Ender and Zugrug are split focus, so Ender tries to push towards the Regirock. A day late there on the Egg Bomb as Yeetfan secures that major objective. Ender's down, but Amaterasu ain't done. They're pushing even farther forward.
A huge triple hit on that Spirit Shackle, but you got to be careful. Otter, oh, barely getting away from that side shot. Going to stay up and actually has the chance to counter there. Wow, an inch away from the side shot, hitting from maximum range. You cannot outrange that Decidueye, but you can maybe Perish Song it, maybe not.
Yeah, no, Otter actually able to escape yet again. Ender with some clutch soft-boiled healing there. And now Otter is able to stay up and running. And TTV with a bit of some comeback knockouts. However, Amaterasu, you know if they're not directly in front of you, they are scoring in your goal zones on the other side of the map. So Amaterasu holding on to a lead, but TTV having a good breath of fresh air here at the 6-minute mark.
That's right, TTV now going to have the first level 10 in the game, and 2 other Pokemon on level 9, so their big power spikes all being very, very strong for whatever fight comes next. Looks like it may be this Regieleki. Let's see how much Amaterasu decides to commit to try and take this. Trainer is going to jump on Ender. Ender's going down a lot currently, but for the sake of getting so much EXP for the rest of the team, and that's going to be a wicked blow with a wicked confirm, and now Otter's in trouble. The Unite's going to clean that one up for sure.
Yeah, that might as well be a KO button on the side of Yifan. When it's aimed at the Decidueye, that Ebon Fist basically secures one no matter what. However, Lutano trying to find value on the other side, but a very clever eject button by JL is going to completely escape Lutano's KO grasp. They're going to attempt to score, but wow! Otter finds the Unite move from downtown to get a pretty huge knockout. Takes their buff back. I do not want that stolen, no thank you. And Zugro tries to rush away from Nudo.
It was simply a buff delivery service.
True.
You're like, thank you very much. I didn't want to walk all the way over there. I'm a ranged carry. I don't want to deal with that.
Exactly.
So I appreciate that and a little bit of the extra XP. But here we go. Coming down 3 seconds left for the base of Reggie.
Yeah, Zogrog hanging out in that pool party Snorlax. I mean, Zogrog has never worn another Hollow. Well, that's not quite true. They wore a different Hollowware on Snorlax one time. They lost that game, and they have never wore another Hollowware on Snorlax in tournaments since the beginning of this game. Zogrog committed to the pool party.
All right, Nudo taking a little bit of damage, but just going to be able to get out of there. It looks like TTV's backing up. They do not want JL doing anything sneaky behind them, and so they're simply going to take them out. And now the forward positioning is for TTV. They do have their Blastoise still up in the top half, though.
What's positioning when you can just Lapras Express Yifan to wherever they need to go? Actually doesn't take the ride too long, though, as Celestial goes for a big engage. Knockout from Zogrog is beginning with Power Nap, but it's just Nudo being hit by that one. Celestial does a lot of damage, but they're trying to escape. They're not going to find it as Yifan hits him sky high. Otter's able to trade, but a Sableye Unite is sending Otter the other way, all the way back to base. Now Regirock almost at that knockout point. The secure is there for Roland, and Amaterasu secures that Regirock. Amazing Unite move by JL.
That was the most important Pokemon to send back. Not able to get back in time to help with that secure, but TTV's like, you know what, if we can't take Regirock, we're still going to push. We might get a few KOs here. Maybe not, actually. They decided to back up a little bit. Zugrog's going to check out, see if it's worth pushing. There is some EXP in the middle. It looks like that's a little bit too juicy for Otter to pass up, along with the fact that we have had Lutano, honestly, just kind of solo farming top this entire time.
Yeah, which is a great place for them. They are sitting at level 12, and a level 13 Blastoise really is such a problem that Amaterasu does not want to deal with. I mean, the story of the bottom path has just been these two defenders staring at each other the entire matchup. It's been a very slow roll, but either team just wants to take a scoring opportunity if it prevents itself. It's like, no, you rotate, no, I'm going to rotate, and then we have the old standoff.
All right, well, this is 3 minutes left, 1 minute to Rayquaza, and one objective up. We do see Amaterasu, the only ones that are currently at, there, but JL going down again. Not a huge surprise. We have seen JL going in pretty deep this game. Yifan was not actually starting that Regieleki. He may have been able to solo in time, but wanted to hold on as long as possible to get greater effect. But now Yifan's the one that maybe is a little bit caught out. Gonna have to back up. Great usage of mobility. The Spirit Shackle doesn't connect.
I mean, great call by Lutano there. They knew they weren't actually going to find the knockout, but they knew they had to launch into that bush, otherwise Celestial was going to be knocked out. They had vision, they knew Yifan what they were looking for, so Lutano had to make the executive decision to go and spin Stoice into that tall grass.
All right, well, without a doubt, this is an advantage in levels, in points, and the final Regieleki going to TTV with only 10 seconds left. That's just going to go straight in, so just a little bit more of a point lead overall. It doesn't look like anybody's going to be trying to follow that up. Amaterasu being a little bit careful that doesn't happen, but it's going to come down to Rayquaza.
Urshifu making that bit too much of a risk. Trainer immediately starting to hit that Rayquaza as JL engages all the way onto Celestial, trying to bait them into that team fight, but JL pays for it. They go down immediately. That Bliss assistance across the map from Ender goes onto Lutano, who is still holding on to that Hydro Typhoon. Zugrug blocking out Yeetfan for this engagement entirely is allowing Celestial to just 1v1 the Rayquaza instead of having to worry about the Yeetfan Unite move.
Yeah, Otter's doing a ton of damage to this Rayquaza. It's going to be a flip, and the final hit's going to Celestial. That's already a lead that's going to build up even more. 2 members already down from Amaterasu. Nuno's going up there trying to break some shields, but this bottom path, there is no stopping the scoring. At least this one, at least one more undoubtedly here, and that is going to be a gigantic lead with several members of Amaterasu still down.
TTV don't want to go home yet as they secure their major objective and now have a gigantic lead for the final minute. Amaterasu definitely put into a tough spot, and what a great call out in that final fight. Yeetfan kept out all the way out of that middle area by Zugrug initially, and then as soon as they made their way to the Rayquaza pit, it was a shutdown the other direction. What a stop there from TTV. Amaterasu going to look for some scoring opportunities in our final moments, but this lead is gigantic.
That's right. They would need almost their entire team to score. There's still 40 seconds left. There's a chance for something. Roland's going to try to score here, but the problem is that was only 54 points, and it broke that goal zone, so they're still going to need 300 more. And, of course, with 1 member down already of Amaterasu, now 2 members down, they're going to need a whole lot more. Everybody would need to score a maximum 50 points to make this happen. And with 15 seconds left, that's looking out of the question. So TTV, we've seen it before, we've seen it again. They lose their first match, maybe that's the strategy, but they're coming back into this set as strong as possible, and we're heading to a game number 3 to see who makes it to grand finals.
What a bounce back from Team TTV. Also, someone check out Lutano. Pretty sure they signed a contract to never play the same Pokemon 2 games in a row.
Now one of them's going to settle it right now in Game 3.
Game 3 is exactly what you asked for. Game 3, losers finals. This is for their ticket to the grand finals again. Amaterasu, they think they still have something to prove, only winning 1 event throughout this UCS season, but being the most consistent finishers amongst the top teams. TTV on the other side, they got their big win at AO's Cup, and they want to really just cement themselves as the money match winners out here and take down the regional finals.
Let's see where TTV wants to go with this first pick right here. It looks like it might be locking in that Lapras, very powerful defender on the side of TTV, as Amaterasu now has Zoroark available, but also so many amazing choices. They get Trainer on Zoroark. This could be mean.
This could be mean indeed. We talked about Overlord Zoroark over and over and over again, but Trainer's no slouch on that thing either. They have to be happy that they get to lock that in.
Ooh, and the Blissey to follow it up and keep it healthy. This is going to be tough for TTV to deal with. Let's see how they want to respond to this right here. Obviously, Hoopa is still available. We'll see if they want to bring that out. Otter locking in the Alolan Ninetales. And now Ender hovering that Eldegoss.
Yeah, Otter on this Alolan Ninetales. Oh, getting the Dodrio. Lutano can put in a lot of work on that Dodrio specifically. Otter on the A9. Again, we mentioned it yesterday. This is a Pokemon that they favored before the buffs. And now that this got turned up to 11, it is a great pick for that player.
What a mean-looking pick on the side of Amaterasu. They now have Urshifu and Zoroark, as well as the little gentleman, Sableye, joining them. Just a lot that they're going to have to deal with for TTV, is they may be locking in this Comfey. And let's see what we have for our final pick. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go. Scissor.
Listen, I don't know what recipe book TTV's cooking out of, but send me a copy because I need to figure some of this stuff out. They have been just throwing, again, everything at the wall to see what will stick, and they are quite literally going through the list and going, well, we haven't done this yet. Launch it.
Here we go. That's not normally the sound when somebody launches it, just so everyone at home is clear. That's not it's not the technical launching sound effect.
Production, can you get a different sound effect for me next time?
Yeah, figure it out, production. That was really unprofessional as far as production is concerned. And we have Roland locking in that Venusaur right here. You know, they have a lot of attackers on the side of Amaterasu, a lot of attack-based Pokemon. That may be why we are seeing Celestial on that Scissor, but it also, of course, could be that Scyther to dive in and try to pick up big KOs. We're going to have to see what it turns into or doesn't inside of this match here in just a moment, as these two teams are getting ready to square off for the last time
where is their ranged attack damage? What kind of capitalizations will Trainer be able to find? Well, if you look at TTV's side, I don't think Amaterasu is going to have to worry about the range. TTV is going to be on their way to them. I think Amaterasu's just got to wait, and TTV will be showing up in melee range constantly.
Oh yeah, I expect this to be a brawl of a match one way or another, because if you want to contest things, you're in attack range. That's just how it's going to be.
Oh yeah, we are going to be up in each other's face, which actually will benefit the Alolan Ninetales selection on the side of TTV quite well. Yeetfan taking a lot of damage early, but yet another stack goes in. So yes, the knockout's there, but you got to pay the price for the attack weight stacks.
Yeah, if one more attack had landed right there, that would have actually been pretty huge, because the stack would not have gone in. It would have been a huge delay. So a great risk. It did pay off. Even if you're getting KO'd, you just really want those stacks. I'm also really excited to see. It looks like we may be sticking with the Scyther. Yep, we are going to be sticking with the Scyther. An interesting choice. It's going to be very hard to land some of these attacks on how quick of a composition Amaterasu has.
It's going to be a lot of team fights, but folks, they're going to be quick. We're going to see a lot of damage really fast, and these teams are going to blaze after each other. JL just playing interference there, as both Yeetfan and Trainer are able to get so much of that experience. Great support play by JL in that engagement.
And we are going to see a pretty heavy push up top from Amaterasu going down. Oh my gosh. JL is going to get some points in. And we're going to currently see just a sad Doduo, not a Dodrio quite yet, from the side of Lutano, trying to get as much defense here as possible. But I don't know how much you can do here. They're all pretty low. There could be a cleanup. There's going to be at least Inder here. The damage added is not going to be huge. 1 KO though for Lutano. Can there be any more? An amazing dodge there on the strike. And this might be enough, especially with Inder jumping off to help get this confirmed. Lutano's building a ton of experience from that exchange.
It took them a long time to get to the Dodrio, but once they finally did, that pop-off is there, and great supportive play by Inder's Comfey to start shutting that down. However, Amaterasu's early threats have already had some presence in Yeetfan and Trainer, but we cannot ignore the late game threat of Nudo's Venusaur. That is going to be Amaterasu's ace in the hole in our final moments, but it is going to take, well, let's call it a hot minute until we get to that point.
I mean, I'm so excited to see how the end game of this plays out, because Lutano has been popping off this tournament, and Lutano on the Dodrio with the Comfey is huge. Ooh, Otter, okay, actually, almost turning things around here. We just have to see the little double Alolan Ninetales visual right there. It's always a little confusing, but of course that's going to be Zorak just hiding as somebody else.
It's only us confused, I think.
Oh,
it's always just us casters. Well, Yeetfan trying to find the KO on the Celestial, not able to do so. Trainer looking to take a little bit of vengeance, but they are shut down by Lutano. What a chase from the Dodrio, and Celestial is able to knock out JL. Yeetfan trying to get at least one engagement, but Inder is going to stop that. What a support.
Wow, down to the perfect timing. There's a reason as well that once upon a time we got to see the Comfey and Dodrio combo as one of the scariest in the game, and it is still going to be scary when you've got two of the best at the rolls on those two Pokemon.
The top path has been the strongest moment for Amaterasu this entire tournament long, and TTV completely flipping that script in this game, shutting them down at every turn, and now they're rotating down to Registeel in a good position as well.
All right, Celestial's the only one on this Registeel. We'll see how this Scyther works out as well. We're still not quite at Venusaur. Still an Ivysaur for Nudo. Needs just that little extra level. Not quite going to get there unless it's a KO, but here we go. Trainer going in. Zugrock getting so low. There's already a KO now as well. Celestial went down immediately to the damage of that Zoroark. JL not quite going to get that score in, as that looked like that was a try attack. Yep.
Yeah, Lutano playing that try attack, going to be trying to space away from these melee damage dealers as much as they possibly can. Also a decent matchup into the Blissey on the other side. Yeetfan trying to bait TTV into a late game score, and then of course that Unite move is ready for Urshifu. That a wonderful 1v1 Unite move that can really shut down a single target.
Single targets are going to be huge here, especially if that single target does end up having a Comfey on it. But here we go. Lutano trying to take the 1v2. Well, technically a 2v2, of course, with the Comfeys there. But definitely did a great job of that. Forced both members of Amaterasu to retreat. And now there's going to be a big push onto this bottom tier 1.
Yeah, this Comfey has been so huge with Celestial with a huge engage of far Scyther dive. Creates a big knockout. Lots of scores going in for Team TTV. Yes, Regieleki has been secured by Amaterasu with a top path, but Lutano and Inder are still here for this fight. Yes, the Comfey lands, it heals, and we're going to be able to rush back to base.
the greatest skill of any Comfei is when you pop off, when you jump back on people, and making sure you don't mess it up. Wow, okay, instant one-hit KO, one combo. Oh my gosh, instant from Yeet-Fan. I like that. And now, of course, there's the Regieleki in this goal. Yeet-Fan trying to get the third 9 and is going to make it happen. May pay the price for it, but no, Celestial actually chilling a little bit. Okay, yeah, it did get caught finally in that tall grass. Did a ton of damage, actually, though, in return.
Yeah, it'll take some time, but that is going to force TTV to have to play this a little bit safer, and JL can maybe earn some more information and some space because of Yeet-Fan on the way out, dealing so much damage. TTV able to get a lot bigger of an overdump in that top path than Amaterasu was when that Regieleki hit, so TTV still holding on to that points lead. Amaterasu uncharacteristically down by just a few points here at the 4-minute mark.
Right, the fact that they're down with JL playing that Sableye is going to be actually really tough for them. Regardless, though, things are very close over the course of this game. This Regirock may push the XP lead slightly one direction or the other, but Lutano is so far in there. My goodness, absolutely diving, making sure that Roland does not have a chance. Actually has used the Bliss Assistance to save themselves, if that's even going to happen. But in the meantime, everybody from Amaterasu is on that Reggie, and they are going to be able to take that pretty easily, getting the pick as well in the A9, and now one more. Lutano went very deep, but now has to try to play cleanup.
Yeah, they weren't able to support the other 2v2 fight that was happening, and Nudo definitely winning that engage. Yeet-Fan coming alive as well. 2 knockouts for them, and now Nudo is trying to get away from Celestial. They did get both citrus berries, but that might just buy them a little bit of time. Yeet-Fan and Nudo trying to combine. Celestial dodging one ability. That double slash goes into Venusaur, but they don't have the HP to continue this defense. Amaterasu is now in score lead.
Oh, someone came down with the Unite, and actually we saw Yeet-Fan jump over it by dunking and making sure that that didn't hit. That would have confirmed a KO for sure, but the invincibility looked so perfect right there. Landed instead into a full HP Venusaur and wasn't able to get the mileage they wanted. Hilarious.
I've heard of dunking on him, but dunking over top of a wave crash from a Lapras looks even better. TTV really need this Regieleki. If they do not, it's going to be going all the way towards their home goal zone. Trainer trying to play interference, but now it's Nudo's turn up next. They've already found Otter in this back line. Zugrog and Lutano trying to play defense around them. Nudo has to retreat, but Trainer's there for the damage, and so is Yeet-Fan. Celestial in the back line finds JL, but Trainer and Celestial are dashing back and forth in this 1v1, and in the end, no one can get knocked out there. Lutano gets that knockout as Yeet-Fan goes down, and TTV coming away with a win in that engagement.
That's right, but I don't know if they're going to be able to take this Regieleki. There's just a lot of potential pressure. They don't know exactly who's going to be there. They're sitting here probably just trying to make sure that nobody else takes it. Nobody's trying to sneakily get it, but whoa! What a random chance encounter right in the middle of that path as Jail's getting caught up. The Unite comes out. They're down at the 2-minute mark. That's gigantic.
This is a huge problem. 10 seconds away. Nudo can change things around, and they have Roland's Bliss Assistance to land on that Venusaur, a near unknockoutable Pokemon while in that state. Triple trample from the Dodrio chases them all the way down to the other side, but Yeet-Fan responds with their own Unite move. Though still no one knocked out there. Zugrog going to use their Unite to try to counter this Bliss Assistance Venusaur, who is still has the Verdant Anger. Nudo has not pulled that trigger yet.
Oh, look at this. Zugrug is trying to challenge, but just it's the AoE damage. If they're trying to fight here next to Ray, it's inevitably going to take down Ray between the Venusaur and Zugrug. This Ray is getting low. This is going to end up on a flip. We don't have Giant Secure here quite yet. Celestial getting back into the fight, but we're going to see the Wicked Blow. But no! It was the Scyther in the end to take it over the Wicked Blow. TTV, they just need to score a little bit. They're down by less than 100 points. We don't see much of a counter score on the side of Amaterasu. What can they make in time? What can they hold with this shield? Yeet-Fan is here to try and stop Lutano. The shield is broken.
2 members of Amaterasu pull up a great defense around that point, but the shield is broken, but not on the Comfei. Inder still had the shield, and now TTV has the lead. Amaterasu has 50 seconds, and they have scoring options. JL only has 7 points in pocket. If they score, they'll get 14, which will give them the lead. That's such quick math.
This is as close as it can get with 30 seconds left on the clock. 10 points of difference. Amaterasu pushing their way across the map. They know they need points. They're going to get some in here. Otter's going to try to stop as much as possible, but the lead going back to Amaterasu in a heavy way. Back to TTV. Well, the points are going in. There's still a ton of the pocket. Amaterasu can this defense hold. 15 seconds left.
Amaterasu needs some knockouts, and Nudo starts it up. JL with more scores, 341. They need to climb this gap, but TTV putting up a defense. Zogro trying, Inder scoring more on the other side. There's 5 seconds left, and the scores keep raining in. A KO 3 of 3 for Zogro, as Otano grabs one as well. We gotta wait for these final moments to see where this one lies.
This is so close. Nobody knows who's gonna win.
It's TTV! TTV by a fraction of a lead. They move on. TTV with the late game heroics. They're going to grand finals. TTV are back.
4 points. That's all it took. The difference was as minuscule as